Paul, a tricky one today, but your immediate thoughts on the game?
I think maybe started it's a wee bit sluggish again today, like we did Tuesday. But again, like we have been, and since I've been at the club, we've shown great character from coming behind, from goal down, and we've got ourselves a point on another day, creating chances we could have won it.
That's something that's changed sort of from Christmas time onwards for the Falkirk team. But how much is that kind of mentality? Is the mentality behind that? How much has that positive mentality made that difference?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can see the way that the boys go about their jobs on the park. Yeah, there's times obviously when we're on the back foot defending, but from my experience, I think in games, the 9 games that we've played, I think we've defended very well. And I think, yeah, the positive mentality does show, because the boys they show that character of getting into games again after being a goal down, and I think that's a big sign of the positive mentality.
Were you concerned at all when Scott McDonald put that one in the net?
No, not concerned. Maybe a thought as a team as to how we can eradicate that. It was a strange kind of goal, really, but we've spoke about it as a team, so we know where we could cut that out, and we'll look to do that to prevent things like that happening in future games.
Ray's normally quite calm. We were down having a cup of tea at half time and certainly could hear the level of shouts through the wall. Was it fair to say it was a bit of a hairdryer treatment?
A little bit, yeah, but there was a lot riding on the game, so it was a great chance for us to go in front of Queen of the South today and catch up Morton, in the same time get further ahead, if you like, from Partick and Alloa. We didn't quite get the win, but like I said, we made chances. He missed that chance at the back post, but on another day he probably puts it in. Maka hits the post, Jarvo's there from across from Jordan, so hey, these are positive things that if we're not making these chances, then we're standing here saying, oh no, we're worrying a little bit, aren't we? So at the end of the day, it's a point on the board, and it's not a defeat again. So we roll on to Inverness.
To what extent is it very kind of fine margins at stake here?
Yeah, it is fine margins. There was fine margins in the game today. Again, like I said, those chances that we had, if they go in, it's a completely different game. You could say their goal was a little bit fortunate, the way that he's not actually struck it. It's like it's just hit him. It's gone in under the side of the bar. Another day that could hit the bar and come back out, somebody clears it. But again, we showed the character to get back in the game, and I thought we scored a very good goal.
Mood immediately after the game?
A little bit deflated, with it being a great chance for us if we'd picked up 3 points. But then, like the boys are in there, we've spoke about it as a team and with the management team, and that's it. It's put to bed. It's done now. There's nothing we can do, so we move on to the next game.
Another really consistent performance from yourself. You seem like you're really enjoying the kind of run of games.
Yeah, from minute one I've come in here, I've loved it. Not just the fact that I'm working with the gaffer again, but everything about this place is great. It's very, very happy people. It's a great place to come and work every day. And I think most of my teammates are showing that as well, and I think that's why we're showing the battling qualities that we need. It's a very good team spirit in that changing room. Great bunch of lads, the boys that stayed from before, and obviously the guys that the gaffers brought in. So we mix well, and there's a good laugh, good banter in the changing room. So thoroughly enjoying myself here. So.
And in terms of in the stand, does it surprise you that, despite league positions of both sides, there was just under 5,000 people here today? Yeah,
that's brilliant. Obviously, we need the fans, obviously, to help us, push us on in games, and they definitely do. Like you say, they've turned out in their numbers, and they've helped us, especially at home and away. Alloa and Ayr United ones that stick in my head, that a huge following, especially Alloa. Okay, it's not that far, but still, they turned up in their numbers, and it definitely spurs us on.
And just finally, obviously looking into the last kind of few games of the season now, what is it the Falkirk need to do other than obviously scoring goals to kind of secure wins and just climb that table?
It's tiny little things, I think. Just fine details like the manager goes on about. Just fine details in games that we just need to maybe get right. If we get chances, take them. I think defensively we are showing good qualities as a team, not just a back four and goalkeeper. I think as a team we're doing fine. It's just making sure we put those chances in the net. Yeah, and I think that's it. Just try and turn draws into wins. Draws are great because it gets us a point on the board, but wins are just that little bit better, and it gets us a bit further up the table.
Here's hoping we see a few of them between now and the end of the season. Paul, as always, thanks for your time.
Cheers.